Beginning right now from the Maverick Center outside Salt Lake City. It is the longest day of the year, but it's also the best day of the year. 10 hours, 8 teams, 4 rotations, 2 sessions, but only one champion. It's the Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships presented by Sprouts Farmers Market. Later tonight in the second session, number 2 nationally ranked California headlines the top 4 finishers from the regular season. We begin with session number 1, which is Stanford, Arizona State, Arizona, and Washington. The highest score wins regardless of session. It's the historic final edition of the Pac-12 Gymnastics Champions right now for the last time on the Pac-12 Network. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jim Watson alongside former UCLA star Janae Honest, and welcome to West Valley City, just outside Salt Lake here in beautiful Utah. The first 4 teams today in session number 1 could be covered by chalk dust. They've been that close all year long. They're within 7 places in the national rankings. But the question for these teams is not records or rankings, it's start time. Competing in the day session brings a unique challenge.
Yeah, there's a couple challenges. So in the first session, tends to draw a smaller crowd, but I would think the biggest challenge for these teams is posting up a score, and then they have to wait quite a few hours until the second session is over.
Yeah, and we'll see the best point getter from the session 1 up in the rafters, watching all night long to see how long it holds up. If you're looking for a favorite today, how about Stanford? Well, they definitely get the most improved award. During the season, Stanford jumped an incredible 32 spots in the national rankings to reach the top 20, and the rally was led by the 5th-year senior, Chloe Widner.
Chloe is a captain on this team. She's incredibly seasoned, a pro at maxing out her routines and never holds back. It's been great to have her back on 3 events, and she's been posting some big numbers, scoring a perfect 10 on senior night for the first time.
Yeah, and if she goes all around today, she would anchor 3 events. Washington's improvement, a little more subtle, exceeded 197 twice in the final month. The senior, Skylar Killow-Wilhelm, coming off an incredible career best 39.7 in the all-around.
Skylar is a rock for the Huskies, ridiculously talented, and she's the only all-arounder on this team as well, but she's able to post a 9.9 plus score across the board, and she has really improved her performance quality.
Also in the matinee session, Arizona State and Hannah Sharp, who was an NCAA all-around finalist last year. Arizona posted its best total in 9 years. Session number 1, the final edition of the Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships from Utah, only on the Pac-12 Network. Well, I know you'd love to be out there hiking in Zion, one of the great canyons just outside of Salt Lake City, but if you have to be inside, how about the Maverick Center? It holds 9,000. It's been the home of the Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships for the last 4 years. There is a new competition format. This is more TV friendly and it speeds up the meet. The vault and beam will alternate. They'll go at the same time, so will the bars and the floor. Only 2 events happening at once. It's almost like 2 dual meets going on at one time. Don't worry, we'll walk you through it. You can't watch on TV, you can watch online. In fact, you can pick whatever apparatus you want to watch. Just scan the barcode or go to the Pac-12 website and pick your own programming. All 8 teams in action today from the conference all in one place, and they're all in the top 27. Utah is a 3-time defending champion, but they are not the favorites. And nobody's won more championships than UCLA at 19, but they haven't won one in a couple of years. Stanford is the top seed in the session number 1. We'll go in the Olympic order. That means they began on vault. The vault for Stanford has been statistically its weakest event, but they're in the top 30, and they average nearly a 49.2. Amanda Zing, the senior from Sammamish, Washington, will begin these championships. 5 times she's gone 9.8, and her career best came in that incredible meet against California, a 9.875. On that night, California set an all-time high, 198.55, and Stanford set a season best, 197.975. Stanford hadn't even gone 197. They almost went 198. It was an amazing night. And here goes Amanda Zing, and we're underway.
She's going to do a Yurchenko full. She's a great block off the horse. Found that landing. And that's going to be a good score.
Stanford has been amazing this year. They started slowly, and it was just an easy burn. And their best 8 scores were their last 8 scores. Arizona State begins on the bars, and this is Gracie Reeves. They're ranked 15th in the nation on this event, averaging nearly a 49.3.
It's a beautiful blind. into a straddle Jaeger, directly connected into a bail. Gracie has long lines, great toe point. She's going to finish off with a double layout and stuck that landing.
She'd been out of the lineup. In fact, she'd only had one bars routine in the last 5 meets. That was a 9-8 against UCLA. Last time she was in Utah, she went 9-8-5 against the Red Rocks. Again, later tonight, California, Utah, UCLA, and Oregon State. Arizona comes in as the 7th seed. They begin on the floor, and Emma Strom is first up. They're top 20 on the floor this year, 4th in the conference, so this is a strong event. Actually, on paper, it's Arizona's best event compared to the rest of the teams in the conference, averaging a 49-4. Strom has been in the floor lineup all year and 9 times has gone 9-8-5. Bear down, Arizona.
It's a very fun, entertaining routine. She's going to start off with a combination pass. Rudy into a layout step out. Beautifully done. Speaking with head coach John Court, he mentioned that Emma is the most improved gymnast from last year. Beautiful leap connection right there, showing off her flexibility. Final pass, 1.5 to front full. Great control on that landing. Also love watching her performance quality as well.
Emma Strom for Arizona, the sophomore from Omaha. Comes from a long line of athletes. Her mom was a gymnast at Denver. Her dad, Colin, played hockey at Nebraska. Got to figure Michelle and Colin are watching if they're not in the building. So this is how it goes. We'll skip through the room and show you the preferred routines. If we miss anything, we'll get you caught up. Reeves goes 9-8-5 for Arizona State. Great opener for the Gym Devils. Cassie Barbiente, second up. Bars lineup all year, 9-8 or better 8 times, including a 9-8-7-5, but that came against Central Michigan in the opener about 2 months ago. Got to get back to that level right now.
Love watching Cassie on this event. You can see she's working to fight for every 10th. Huge pike Jaeger directly connected into the bail. Very clean form. Little short on that last cast handstand. Gonna finish off with a double layout. Little hot, but that was a really good routine.
Barbiente, a senior from Illinois. She's also been in the vault lineup at times for Arizona State, but not this year. Go from the bars back to the floor. And one of Arizona's best gymnasts, Allison Fears, junior from Murrieta in Southern California. She's been in the all-around in every meet. We expect her to go all-around today. She's been great on the floor, 9-8-5 or better 6 times. Had a 9-9 earlier this year against Sacramento State. 2-time California State floor champion at the club level for Sega.
Very powerful gymnast. She's going to start off with a double tuck way up in the air. Great control on that landing. Beautiful switch side to Popa, extending past that 180 split. Just a single Rudy. She did bound out of it a little bit, so the judges may take off a little deduction for that. Final pass. 1.5 to front full. Great job. And she strung the guitar.
Quickly back over to vault, where Zhang and Brenna Nault both went 9.825, and here's our featured gymnast, Chloe Widner. Widner hadn't been in the vault lineup a lot, had a 9.85 against Michigan. That's a good one.
Yurchenko full, lots of height, great distance. Beautiful form in the air. That's going to be a great score.
And that's the key for Widner. If she's in the ball lineup, she's all around. And that's always been the challenging event for her. 9.85 for Reeves, 9.8 for Barbonente. Back to the bars with Sienna Samoli. Got 9.8 6 times in this event. Had a 9.9 at Denver.
She had a little bit of trouble on that high to low connection. She did have to brush her feet, so the judges may take off about 0.2 for that. But she's known for her exquisite form, beautiful toe point, and she stuck that landing, so great way to finish.
Yeah, she was trained well at the club level, gold medal gymnastics in the Phoenix area, out in Chandler, owned and operated by our own friend, Amanda Borden. Fears got a 9.825 after Strom's opener at 9.85. Elena Dietz. Dietz, a senior from Maple Grove, Minnesota. All 8 of her floors have been at least 9.85. She's got 9.875 3 times.
I know we haven't seen her on balance beam yet, but I love how she brings the elegance from the balance beam to floor exercise. She's very artistic.
Usually signifies a dance background of some sort.
Yes. Beautiful split ring full to start off her routine, even before she takes her first tumbling pass. Combination pass, front lay to front full. Should say half to Popa, beautifully done on those leaps. Double tuck to finish it off. Well done.
Plenty of amplitude, plenty of space behind her. Clean start to finish. Good work by Elena Dietz. So Arizona's got a nice floor rotation going on. We haven't seen Washington on the beam yet. Chelsea Hallinan went 9.775. Emily Ennis had problems. Taylor Russin just went 9.725. Meantime, Samoli just a 9.65. 6 compete, but you can drop your low score. So you only need 5 to take home. Hannah Scharf. Hannah Scharf, now a grad student at Arizona State. She's been in the all-around 5 of the last 6. She was in the NCAA all-around finals last year, finished 21st in the country.
She's a great bar worker, very fluid. It was a beautiful Maloney to Pax Salto. She's going to finish off with a full pirouette to double back. A little short on that last pass handstand. She had to do an extra giant. Covered it well.
See a lot of Hannah Sharp today. Of course, the hero of the UCLA meet. She won it as Arizona State came from behind to beat the Bruins. Sharp closed it out on floor. Now we catch up with Washington on beam, and you see the scores. Here's Lana Navarro in the 4 spot, and Washington needs a big score. You got to turn this around right now. Navarro's been in the beam lineup the last 5. They've all been 9-8 or better, coming off a 9-9 in the season-ending quad meet up in Montlake.
Going to start off with a triple series. 2 back handsprings in a row into a layout step out.
And she didn't let that cat roar in the background cause a bobble or a hip dip. Stayed right in it. Head coach in the background, Jen Llewellyn, now in her 3rd season. Up, former Oregon State gymnast.
I love how confident she looks up on the balance beam. She's looking very strong and conditioned. She's an upperclassman, which means she's been setting higher expectations for herself. So she's been continuing to build her confidence to set an example for her younger teammates. Dismount, round off 1.5. Just the slightest hop forward.
Yeah, not only do they have to start in the daytime, but they're also starting on beam. So I think Washington gets the toughest of it. But
agreed.
You know, maybe you get it behind you. You do all right, you survive it, you move on, you pile up points in the other 3. Everybody else has the beam out in front of them. Widner got a 9-8, as did Gutierrez. These are all the 10-0 start values now. Anna Roberts back in the lineup for Stanford. She had missed some time. She and Wynn will close out the rotation.
Just gonna do a Yurchenko 1.5. 10.0 start value.
Got 9.875 on this vault this year.
Great block off the horse.
There you go.
Beautiful landing, very clean. It also floats in the air too. So it's great to see her back as well.
Yeah, since she came back, 10 of her 11 scores have been at least 9-8. That one should be as well. Phenomenal start to her career, and had to fight her way back into the lineups. We talked about Skylar Kilhull-Wilhelm for Washington, how important she's been. What a big presence. Navarro goes 9-8. Skylar is ranked 26th on the beam. She's got 9-9 or better 6 times, 9.925 4 times.
One thing I love about Skylar on the balance beam is that she looks so secure and confident on those 4 inches. Your series combination, front aerial to flick lay.
Check. Fights through it. Clean full turn, not as easy as it looks.
Switch leap to split jump. And the judges are really looking for that 180 split, and she definitely hit that. Side aerial to 1.5.
There you go.
Nailed that landing.
Should be a decent score. Starting off her program, Skylar Kilhull-Wilhelm, University of Washington. Skylar comes from West Des Moines out in Iowa. It'd be strange to go to Seattle and not see her in a lineup because she's been such a big presence for so long. 9.875 for Anna Roberts, and Stanford has saved its best for last on vault. Tara Lynn Wynn, the sophomore from Fair Oaks, California, coming in hot. Her last 7 vaults have all been 9.85 or better, and she's coming off a career high 9.95 against California. She is a spark plug and a firecracker.
A lot of power, very
Just
dynamic.
bounced off.
Yeah, and all she really needs to do is just hone in on that landing. That's really what's been dinging her on her score.
Well, still for Stanford, their lowest score had been a 9.8 prior to that. So if she doesn't better their score, they'll count the 9.8s by Widner and Gutierrez. It's still going to turn out to be a pretty good rotation for Stanford on the vault, but it is possibly a missed opportunity. Jay Santos, now in his 8th season at Arizona State. He's done a phenomenal job, a 2-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year. And he knows that he needs to leave behind one of those 9.6s, and that's what he just told Sarah Clark, go get me some points. 7 times this year on bars, Clark has gone 9.85 or better, 9.95 at Stanford. Senior from Huntington Beach, California, and a product of Mater Dei High School. Go Monarchs. Bit of a delay, she was ready to go and now has to reset. Judges give her the nod.
Beautiful handstand to start off. Gonna do a blind into a straddle Jaeger. Good form in the air. I love that her legs and toes are squeezed together. Also is an athlete that flows from one skill to the next. All her handstands were locked in. What the judges are looking for, that vertical double layout dismount.
Beautiful.
Nailed that landing.
And her teammates in the background. Yep. That is a genuine reaction by Sarah Clark. She did just what her coach asked her to do. You got to keep us in this thing. You got to drop one of those 9.6s, and they will. Well done. Arizona State is the 6th seed coming in. And their season best, a 197.6 right at the end of the season. Emily Muller goes 9.75, and we catch up with Malia Hargrove on floor for the U of A. Hargrove, an NCAA finalist in this event back in 2021. And this year, 7 times she has gone 9.875.
She actually took the MCAT a few weeks ago in season, which is incredibly impressive. But what's also impressive is her power. She's a very dynamic gymnast, opening up with a huge full twisting double back. Great combination pass. The whip half into a front full. A unique combination you don't see very often. Finish it off with a double tuck. Chest a little low on that landing. She was able to hold on to it and take the lunge back. And that's why they got her in the anchor spot.
Arizona looking to drop Muller's 9.75. Everything else is at least a 9.825. So we'll see what Malia Hargrove gets. Dia Moody on beam for Washington went 9.8. Moments ago, as we look back at this one on tape, it was so good we wanted to show it to you. This is Emily White for Arizona State. She had come up on bars right before Sarah Clark, and Emily White put up a 9.9, and so did Clark to finish off this rotation for ASU.
Emily has a stunning form. She is phenomenal on this event. She did a Van Leeuwen up to the high bar. Just very clean throughout. You can see why she scored the score that she did. Finishing off with a double layout. Got those heels together, nailed that landing.
Seal Beach, Pride of Los Alamitos High School, go Griffins. She got 9.8 or better 10 times, had a 9.95 against South Connecticut to end the season. Hargrove got a 9.825. So Arizona, after one rotation with a 49.2, Stanford 49.125, Arizona State 49.1, and Washington 48.875. Back at the Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships, you see the scoring for Washington on the beam. Navarro and Dia Moody went 9.8 in the anchor spot for a 48.875. Jen Llewellyn, the head coach, now in her third season at Montlake, joins us now. Listen, I know half your roster this year has been underclassmen, so there was going to be growing pains, but you went 197 twice in the last month.
Yeah.
You got to feel like your best gymnastics is still in front of you.
Yes, it is. I've been really proud of the team and how they've rallied the last half of season. They've really come out strong, and just hoping to build off of that as we go into the next 3 rotations.
Jen, you've talked about controlling what you can control in meets. How does that play into today where you have to wait hours for the results and also the kind of tight scoring?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just, the last couple weeks we've talked a lot about your self-worth and doing kind of a self-survey after each routine and not allowing the judges or the fans or the critics to define your self-worth. So that's something we've been focusing on with a young squad is be proud of your gymnastics and what you're doing in every moment. So that's what we're going to continue to focus on here out.
Jen, you were a gymnast at Oregon State. You've been to these championships. In fact, you won here. You were the bars champion back in 2000 and something. Sorry, I can't read the number. Did you give your team any wisdom, anything about your experience coming to a big meet, being on a podium?
Yeah, nothing about my experience, but with this being just kind of a huge celebration of the Pac-12 and the conference, we talked a lot about embracing every moment and what an honor it is to compete for Washington, but to compete for this conference and the rich history and the tradition and the incredible women that are part of this conference. So we're really trying to cherish each moment and soak it all in, and just grateful to be a part of it all.
Jen, if you're not going to tell your team how good you were, I will. All right, I'll go by and tell them in the bullpen.
Sounds good.
All
Thank you.
Pac-12 and a bars champion at this event. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you. Go Dogs.
Jen Llewellyn was Jen Kessler when she was at Oregon State, and she was terrific. First team All-American, runner-up on the bars at Nationals. After one rotation, Arizona, who started on floor with a slight lead. Jim Katz, 49-2. Both Stanford and Arizona State just below their season averages on vault and bars. But how about those Cats going 49-2? And you know Washington's disappointed. Washington had been averaging nearly a 49-3 on beam, so they have some ground to make up now. But starting on beam is not easy. Starting in the daytime, it's a podium, so different experience, big meet. And the crowd will continue to fill up as the day wears on. Back at 5 o'clock Pacific, session number 2 with Cal, host Utah, UCLA, and Oregon State. All 4 of those teams ranked in the top 17. Arizona, our current leader, will begin the second rotation on the vault. Just one 10-0 start value, that Malia Hargrove right in the middle of the lineup. As a team, they're ranked 32nd in the country on this event, only a 49-1, so anything above that will be bonus points. Ainsley Griever, freshman from Naperville, Illinois, outside of Chicago. Vault specialist, 9.8 3 times.
Yurchenko full. Great body position in the air. Good form. You can see that she opens up her body to prepare for the landing. That was a good start.
Stanford moves to the bars. Ana Paula Gutierrez. Gutierrez had a 9.8 on vault in the first rotation. And all 8 of her bars routines at least 9.8, including a 9.925.
She is superb on this event. You can see by her major release, straddle Jaeger directly connected into a bail down to the low bar. This is a unique dismount, double front, half out.
Oh, it gets me every time. I forget about the final twist.
Yep.
Junior from Highlands Ranch, just outside of Denver. 17 of her 18 scores this year, 9.8 or better. I mean, that's fantastic for Tabitha Yim, the Stanford head coach, to be able to rely on someone like that, just going to go up and produce points. It's a luxury. And remember, they've been peaking all year long. All of these teams for the playoffs, they begin today. Then it's regionals next week, and then 2 weeks until the NCAA finals. Washington to the floor. And this is where Washington can make points. They average a 49-3. They've gone 49 or better in 9 of their 12 meets this year. Emily Pyers, junior from Carlsbad down near San Diego. 9-8 or better 7 times. She's coming off tying a season best 9.85, but she hit that number 4 times.
We have a really nice routine ahead of us. She's going to start off with a 1.5 twist to a front layout. Beautifully done. Great control on that landing. Double tuck.
Stays in.
She does stay in. You can see she stayed on her toe to make sure she didn't want to put that heel down. Got to fight for every 10.
Emily Pyers began her career at UC Davis before coming up to Seattle. Writes herself a note before meets and texts her parents. You gotta love that.
I do love that.
Isn't that
That's so sweet. I don't think I ever texted my parents.
Do it now. We have time. On the bars, Stanford's Ana Paula Gutierrez with a 9.85 opener. Excellent work. Stanford has been that slow burn team, just getting better all year long. Their best 8 scores, their last 8 meets. They almost hit a 198 against Cal. Ava Sorrento, bar specialist, sophomore from Canada, Toronto. 9.8 5 times, had a 9.9 against California.
Ava has exquisite form all the way down to the toe point. Stunning lines. This is a great routine thus far. Beautiful handstand, double layout. Dismount, had to take that step. I think that was the main deduction. That was a really great routine.
Early in the year when Stanford was struggling and just putting up modest numbers, Tabitha was telling everybody, we're better than this. We're building a foundation. I believed Tabitha, but I was getting a little skeptical until we saw that Cal meet.
Yes.
And they went 197, 975 and just blew the doors off Maples. That was an amazing night. And we saw what they're capable of. Pyers, 9.825, so that's a good score for her. Right about her season best, Caitlin McWilliams. Sophomore from Littleton, scores have been rising, 4 straight, 9.8 or better. Closed the season with a 9.875.
She's gonna start off with a combination pass. Front 1.5 to a back layout. Exceptional floor performer. You can see how she's dialed in on every single skill, even the dance elements as she's going through them. Final pass, double pike.
Stay in.
She unfortunately does step out of bounds. That's going to be an extra 1/10 deduction from her overall score.
Just over-rotated, land on the heels and had to take a big step back. To beam now, where Kayla Lee opened for Arizona State with a 9.85. Kimmy Smith scheduled to go second. Meantime, over on the vault, Arizona's Ainsley Griever, who we showed, got a 9.75. Right behind her, Emma Strom, 9.8. Arizona was our leader after one. Just the fourth beam routine of the year for Smith. The last two meets, she had only been in the floor lineup. So she gets the call today on a big stage.
It's actually Gracie Reeves that's up right now.
Yes, you're right. Smith has already gone. 9.8, they just posted the score, so we're jumping around. So I was one behind there. Yes, you're right. Gracie Reeves. Good catch, partner. It's the new format. Two events going on simultaneously.
Dismount, round off, 1.5, tucked. It's a little step back, but that was a great routine.
For Reeves, the beam has always been her best event. She's gone 9.8 6 times, had a 9.9 to close the season. That's going to be another good score. So Arizona State got the 9.85 by Lee, Smith's 9.8 that came in late, and now Reeves looks to have a good score as well. And they still have Clark, Scharf, and White to close out the rotation. Fear the fork.
I love the devil horns.
Yep.
Oh, and they light up too. So
You know, I got a pair of those when I did the Arizona State UCLA meet. I took them home. I'm fighting my kids for them. Back to the vault. Arizona now adds Jessica Castles 9.8. This is Malia Hargrove with a 10.0 start value. Hargrove has been in the top 25 now for 2 years. Currently ranked 17th in the country.
Yurchenko, 1.5 twist.
There you go.
Great landing, great form, great body position. You can tell she has the air awareness as she prepared for that landing. And I love that they put her wherever they need her in the lineup. She is the only 10.0 start value vault. So usually you'll see those at the end, but that just shows she's willing to go wherever.
She had a nearly perfect vault at California earlier this year at 9.975. I'll tell you how, if you just walk into the room, how you can find out if Arizona's having a good day. Head coach John Court, the back of his coat is covered with chalk.
Oh, yes.
Then you know.
Putting in work.
Reeves went 9.75, so the beam numbers are descending, but they're still good. Sarah Clark in the 4 spot. Clark's been great on beam this year. 8 times, 9.85 or better. Twice has gone 9.925.
She's a solid beamer, fantastic, very hard worker. You're gonna see how steady she is on this event. Starting off with a full turn. You never wanna underestimate that skill. She had great control on that. Triple series coming up. She's gonna do 2 back handsprings into a layout step out.
Excellent.
Split jump to a double stack jump. You can even see at that angle that she definitely hit that 180 split that the judges are looking for. Front aerial, right on. Her dismount's gonna be a gainer front full off the end of the beam, and she's known for her celebrations.
Now she can let it go. Yes. Pumping the fist. She's having a very good day. Remember, she was in the anchor spot on bars in the first rotation, went 9.9 to save it as they were able to drop one of their 9.6s, went 49.1, keeps them in the competition. Skylar Killow-Wilhelm now for UW on the floor.
lot of artistry to start off this floor routine. There's an excellent first tumbling pass. She's going to do a front handspring to a double front twist. That's a dance element out of it to show control. Beautiful leaps, really showing off her flexibility. Last tumbling pass, combination pass, round off 1.5 to a front layout. She was a little under-rotated on that, so she had to take a little stumble backwards. The judges will take a deduction for that. But overall, great routine.
Skylar just put up her best 9.975 this year. Close out the regular season. Sarah Clark got a 9.9, so she got 2 9.9s. And here's Hannah Sharp. Great rotation for Arizona State on the toughest event. But they're not done yet. They need at least one more good score. They're ranked top 20 in the country on this, an average of 49.3. Wolf turn, make it a double.
She's very calm and confident up on the balance beam. Series, back handspring layout, step out. And unfortunately, she comes off the beam, so they're gonna have a fall in the lineup. But like you mentioned before, they only count 5 routines, so they're gonna need the last girl to hit.
Yeah, it'd be Emily White, who did the same thing in the first rotation on bars. Side Sunny. Their low score right now a 9.75.
And Hannah's an athlete that really sets a high standard for herself and her team, so you know that she's definitely a little disappointed, but that's why you have teammates to pick you back up.
It's okay, you gotta stay in there, that's right. If Emily White's able to come through, then it doesn't hurt them. And they need her the rest of the way. Can't let her get down. You can see it on her face. Well, she's been terrific, and we've seen it. It happens to everybody. Howard Grove 9.85. Abby Martin went 9.775. Here's Allison Fears. So they're going to want to drop the 9.75 by Griever in the opening spot. And Fears is just the one to do it. 9 times, she's got 9.8 or better, had a 9.9 against Southern Connecticut end of the season. They need a 9.9 right here.
She's definitely want to do it. Beautiful Yurchenko full. Got the power, got the height. Definitely floated in the air. That's going to be a great score, and you can see why she's in the anchor spot.
Skylar Killer-Willem got a 9.825. Emily Ennis on the floor for Washington. Right now with some flamenco. She has 4 straight 9.9 or better scores on floor. On fire on the floor.
Front handspring to a double twist. A lot of power, very clean form on the twisting as well. Sometimes you'll see gymnasts, the feet can cross or the knees can get a little loose, but she keeps her form clean. does her second and last pass back-to-back. Last pass is going to be a front handspring to 1.5 twist, called a Rudy. It's been really cool to see her hit her stride.
Yeah, the problem for Washington has been just having 5 good scores. They've had to count at least 1 low score in each of the first 2 rotations. Stanford will try and do the same here, drop Anna Roberts' mark. And Chloe Widner needs to step up right now. They can still have a great rotation if Widner comes through.
She could do just that. You're going to notice all of her handstands. She always locks them into place. She opens up with a huge major release called a Tkachev. Beautiful in the air.
Oh, fighting it, look at the core strength.
Yep. Full pirouette to a bail. It's a transition down to the low bar. Great handstand to finish it off. Double layout dismount.
Well, that's Chloe's best event. She's gone 9.8 10 times, 9.95 twice, but she really had to fight to stay in it.
Yeah, she knew she had to, and that's an attest to her being a veteran as well.
I was looking at Vince Smurl, the assistant coach who handles bars. There he is in the shirt and tie, and he gave a big sigh of relief as he went back under the bar after she pulled it off. Innes went 9.8 7.5. So again, you can see the potential here for Washington. If they only had to count 1 of those early scores, they'd be right in this thing. Lana Navarro, anchor spot. It's got to be frustrating. They're right there. Navarro on the floor has gone 9.8 or better 8 times, had a 9.9 at Oregon State. Big career highs on all 3 of her events in the last 2 meets. So she's coming in ready.
Gonna open up with a double tuck. Great control, and I love this music. It's very unique. Leap, switch side to a Copa. Beautifully done. Did a great job to stay in bounds. It was a 1.5 to a front layout. She was pretty close to the edge. Final pass. Gonna finish off with a double pike. She was right on that line, but I believe she stayed in.
Well, they needed it. Remember, it doesn't end here. Everyone is trying to qualify for regionals. We expect that all 8 teams will again go to regionals. It has happened the last 2 years where the whole league went. Stanford, moments ago, Brennan Nault on the bars. Brennan was in the 3 spot, and Nault put up a huge score for Stanford. Nault has been on fire down the stretch the last couple of weeks. Been solid on this event, had a 9.925 twice, one of them in that meet against California.
Beautiful routine thus far. You can see her legs and toes squeezed together, fighting for that last handstand. Beautiful full pirouette, finishing in that handstand.
That's
and
great
nailed
stuff.
that landing. Yep.
I had a chance after the Cal meet to meet Brenna's parents and her sister. Spent some time with them. What a great family they are. And Brennan Nault had a big night against Cal. Went 9.95 on beam. It was his career best and her best all around. Stanford ends up with a 49.225. Washington still gets over 49 on their floor after 2 events. It appears the Stanford Cardinal, our 5 seed, with a slight lead over Arizona. Arizona had a great opening rotation on floor, the 49-2. They come back on the vault with a 49-125. Allison Fierce got a 9-9 to close out that rotation. John Court now in his 26th season in Tucson. Yeah, it sounds like a long time.
I've been a head coach for 6 years. I've been here 6 years. What do you mean?
Well, all right, we'll go with that number from now on. Hey, I think Allison just got back into the vault this year, right? She'd been out last year, and you add her back in. Boy, you really needed her back into the rotation.
Yeah, she's turned into a fantastic vaulter. We're having a hell of a first half. But I'm not going to talk about us right now. I'm going to surprise you guys. So certainly, this is the last Pac-12 championship, and I just want to say thank you, on behalf of Arizona Gymnastics, all our alums, current athletes, because what the network has meant over the last decade or so, you have changed the exposure for the sport of women's gymnastics and taken us into the living rooms of people all across America, and you have elevated all of our programs, and you have shown us in an entirely different light, showcasing all the programs, all the athletes. So I just wanted to say, Jimmy, Janae, Darren, Amanda, if you're listening, thank you for the decades of hard work and just loving your profession and loving our athletes back. So that's all I'm going to say today. So it's bear down and go Cats. Let's have a hell of a second half.
Thanks, John.
Nope,
that was the easiest interview ever. Thank you, brother.
You know me. All right, bye-bye.
Very nice of you to say that. And listen, when we started this, college gymnastics just wasn't getting the exposure it deserved. We were lucky in that as the network began in 2011, women's gymnastics, and Janae, you were at UCLA right after that.
Yep.
Women's gymnastics was on the rise. In this conference, top to bottom, I was just saying all 8 teams are going to regionals. It's the best conference top to bottom in the country.
I agree, and it's just not very top heavy, but just a lot of depth, a lot of big skills. I mean, we see the best gymnastics in the NCAA in this conference, so it's great to be a part of it.
So Stanford leading after 2, 98-350. Arizona just a breath behind, and Arizona State is still in this as well. So Stanford is our new leader, 49-225 on the bars after an opening 49-125, and just in front of Arizona. So they're following seeds right now. Stanford, the 5 seed, the favorite coming in, and Stanford was the most improved team. We mentioned it at the top of the show that Stanford had jumped an incredible 32 spots in the national rankings from week 1 until the final week of the regular season to end number 20 in the country. Washington trying to make up some ground. They've had 2 rotations in which they had to count 1 low score. And because of that, they're chasing everybody else, sitting on a 97-9 right now. But they're not out of it. Things happen. And remember that Washington has already been through the beam. So now they have vault and bars to close. 110 start value here. Navarro, everybody else. Yurchenko Fulls, 995. Lily Tubbs will be first up. Washington on the vault this year, only a 49-1, and they've only gone 49 7 out of 12 meets. So they have an obstacle in front of them, and it's not the vault table, it's their confidence. Lily Tubbs, sophomore from Pflugerville in Texas, added this event this year, but she has been solid. That's why she's in the leadoff spot. 9.8 or better 8 times, and a best of 9.875 against Cal.
Yurchenko full, great vault, very clean, floats down to the landing. That's going to be a great score. I'm just so happy with it.
That's what you want. You want the leadoff, right? Over to the beam. Stanford's Claire Dean is the first up. She has always been a good beamer. Gone 9.8 or better 7 times at a 9.925 to start the season. That's her best so far.
Very difficult series to start off. A side aerial to a back layout step out. You don't see that very often because of its difficulty. The jump combination, and I think that's just an attest to her confidence on those 4 inches. And why she's in the leadoff position. She really sets the tone for the rest of the lineup. Dismount, round off 1.5. Nails that landing.
Claire is a sophomore, and that's important for Stanford because They have 10 underclassmen performing more than half of their routines, 13 of the 24 in a normal lineup. And so sophomore Claire Dean is now followed in the lineup by sophomore Terralyn Wynn. (9-8) for Lily Tubbs. Just what you want in an opener. Set a good score and let everybody go over it. Kristen Lynn. That freshman from Santa Clara. Holds on to it.
Another Yurchenko full, good form.
Her best this year at 9.825. This could be real close. See Brenna Brooks there in the purple top, former UW star. Now a coach. That's a nice moment. You come to for your team on the biggest stage of the year so far, but they just get exponentially bigger from here. Conference championships, then the regionals, and then the NCAAs. Tabitha Yim, head coach of Stanford, has been to all of those and succeeded. Olympic pedigree. She knows Claire Dean just got the 9-9. Now she's getting right up in the face of Wynn and make. You know, she's telling her, listen, you gotta attack this thing. You gotta go after it. You gotta own this beam. Go get it.
Right, making sure that she stays tight in all of her landings. That's why you saw her pressing on her and moving her a little bit to make sure she stays tight in her core. So that's really all Terralyn needs to do to take out those balance checks.
Wynn is coming off a 9-9 in that epic meet against California at Maples. Nice. Good series.
Very difficult series. That's a standing layout step out, back to back, 2 of them.
Hands free.
I love watching how she attacks each skill. When she's on, she's very solid. And this was an event that she worked really hard on this year. She almost overturned that full turn, but she covered it up really well, brought her arms down to her side to make sure she stayed in control. I think this is one of the best routines I've seen her do. All she has left is the dismount. She's gonna do a round off double twisting.
Yes.
That is the best routine I've seen her do. That was so good. Whatever Tabitha told her right before then worked.
Sure looked like that, huh? Here's what I want you to do. Go do it. Kayla Lee, 9.775. Once again, Sarah Clark. Having an excellent day, 9-9 on the beam in the second rotation. And a 9-9 to close out the first rotation on bars.
A lot of height on that round off 1.5 to a front layout. Beautiful job. This is a gorgeous torche into a ring position. Very rarely do you see that.
Sarah Clark's having a day.
That was an excellent routine.
And she had not been in the floor lineup. Last year, she jumped in mid-season. That's an ad for Sarah Clark. She comes through. You know, even if they're not in the regular season lineups, they're training it. It's ready because you can't just have 6. What if somebody doesn't warm up, somebody gets injured?
Right, depth is very important.
Jay Santos goes, thanks for making me look good. Sarah Clark already has 2 9-9s waiting for the score there. Look at that, 3 straight 9-8s. Tubbs, Lynn, and Innes. And here's Skylar Kilhull-Wilhelm. Remember last time we saw her, had trouble on beam. She's ready to go. Nina's timed, so she's waiting for the judges to give her the nod. 6 times she's gone 9.85, coming off tying a career high 9.9 in the UW season-ending quad at Alaska Airlines. Ready to go. You know she wants to pop one right here.
Pop is a perfect word to describe this ball. She gets a great block off the table on this Yurchenko full.
There you go. Out of way, Skylar. Tried to hold that landing as long as she could.
You can see she was starting to lean back.
Rolling out of it. And the new scoring in college, you got to stand there and show the judges you own that landing. Good for Skylar. Wow, Wynn only got a 9.775 on that routine.
I thought it was going to be better. That was a
too.
great routine for her.
I thought that was a soft score, but Sienna Robinson came back with a 9.85. Pick her up, and here comes Brenna Null. The last time we saw Brenna in person was against Cal, and Jim was bumping that night. Cal was going crazy. Stanford was matching it. Brenna got up on the beam and put up a 9.95 career high. 7 times this year, Brenna has gone at least 9.85 on the beam. She actually has done the 9.9 twice, both times against California.
I love her unique mount, bringing artistry to this event. And Brenna is a beautiful beam worker. She's very elegant up there. She's going to start off with a triple series, back handspring into a layout step out.
Can't do it better than that.
I don't think so either.
It looked easy, and I don't mean easy in terms of no difficulty, just she just moved right through it.
And I think that's always the goal. You want to make it look effortless.
Yes, better adjective.
Brenna is someone that definitely embraces life to the fullest. You can tell she loves this sport. Dismount, round off 1.5.
Hold on to it. Got up on the toes, then take a little side step. Overall, a great effort again by Brenna Null. Brenna had a 9.9 earlier on bars and a 9.825 on vault. So she's right in there today. Skylar Kilhull-Wilhelm got a 9.85, so all 4 Washington scores on vault, at least 9.8. Still with Lana Navarro and Mary McDonough still to go for the Gym Dogs.
Starting from a 10, which means she's going to do her Yurchenko 1.5.
Her best this year is a 9.9. Maybe challenge that score. There's a little stutter step on the landing, and not much.
Yeah, it was a quick hop forward, but I love that she keeps her body straight throughout, clean lines, and it's actually better than her full. Her 1.5 is better.
Arizona on the bars, and this is their weakest event, but they still average a 49.2. Fears in the anchor spot is the only ranked athlete on this event. Lena Dietz next up. They'll want to drop McCabe's score, but Muller went 9.8. And Hargrove a 9.75.
Gonna do a giant half into a Tkachev. Beautiful form in the air. Great handstand before her bail. Another great handstand. She's gonna finish off with a double layout dismount.
Well done. Mid-season ad there. Dietz on bars. He's put up a 9.875 this year. Brennan Alt got a 9.8. Ira Alexeva now on beam for Stanford. Alexeva has been terrific on beam. 9.85 or better 7 times. In that meet against Cal that we keep referring, 9.975. One of the judges gave her a 10.
Double wolf turn. She made sure to pause right there to let the judges know that she hit it perfectly. I love the artistry to start off this routine, and she's gonna do a back handspring layout step out. Beautifully done. Ira has exquisite form all the way down to the toe point. Just absolutely stunning to watch. Beautiful switch half to a beat jump. Not only is she such a hard worker and graceful in everything that she does, she is extremely detail-oriented and clean. And you've seen that throughout this routine. Gainer front full. Had to take that slight step forward. That's going to be another great score for Stanford.
Ira Alexeva, born in Russia, was a former Russian national team member, but then moved to Texas when she was 8. And now she's all Stanford Cardinal. Yeah, good effort. A big hug from head coach Tabitha Yim. How about these scores for Washington? They're all 9.85 or above. Skylar Keller-Willem and Lana Navarro just went 9.85s. So they've got that. They've already got a 49.1. McDonough with a 9.95 start value can bump the number. Anything better than a 9.8 helps them.
Yurchenko full. We're going to see good form.
Oh, come on!
Great amplitude and nailed that landing.
Her best this year is only a 9.825. This is going to be way better than that. Oh, that was money. Good for her.
She actually was a late addition to the lineup today, and I know they were happy with that change.
Freshman from Franklin, Tennessee, making her mark at the Pac-12s. Dietz went 9.825, so they need Sophie Durr and Allison Fierce to come through. Arizona stays right in the hunt. Sophie Durr is a freshman from Frisco, Texas, outside Dallas, just north. 9.8, 8 times, 9.8 or better. And has back-to-back 9.9s this year. That's what they want to tap into right now.
She has excellent technique on this event. She's going to start off with a huge release. She's going to do a toe shoot into a ray. Caught a little close on that. She held it together well. Beautiful handstand right after. Also love her lines on the uneven bars as well. Honing in on every detail. Half in, half out dismount. Nicely done.
Arizona's one of those teams that is having a great season, one of the best they've had in recent memory. John Court's got a good staff with Taylor Spears and Kylie Cratchwell. Excellent job. Alexeva just went 9.85 for Stanford. Talk about a good rotation. Widner to close it out. They want to drop wins 9.775. Everything then would be 9.8 or better. Stanford was the top seed in this session coming in. 20th in the country.
Switch leap to split jump. Beautiful job. And I love how bold and confident she is on this event.
Well, we saw that against California when she was perfect. Got a 10 at home. and it was awesome because it was senior night for Stanford. It was already dramatic, a lot of motion in the room.
And it was
both teams going off.
It was her first one, correct?
Yes.
So special. Front aerial to a split jump. You can see she was slightly off balance, but she swung her arms quickly to reset herself for that jump. Again, it's a test to her being an upperclassman, a veteran. She's very seasoned, knows how to fight for every 10th when her team needs it. Dismount, back handspring, gainer full off the side.
No step. Well done by Widner in the anchor spot. Stanford had a lead after 2 rotations of .175. And they just put together a great beam. They're going to close on floor. Give you the number on Widner when we see it. Sophie Durr, 9.875. Well, for Durr, that is not quite a career high, but it's close. And Allison Fears will start as soon as the floor ends. Allison Fears on bars this year. Well, she's been great. 11 times she has gone 9.8 or better. Had a 9.95 at the Texas Women's Quad a couple of weeks ago. And it's sometimes the weight is the hardest part of your routine because you get up, right? You have that internal clock, you're ready to go.
Yeah, and that's what you have to get used to in championship season because the weights are longer. You're used to the dual meets going back to back, and this is the time for you to get used to maybe waiting a minute or 2.
Listen, I've heard about distractions with gymnasts. Gymnasts eat adversity for breakfast. It's what you do. So I don't think you can ever knock gymnasts off balance.
Huge
Psychologically,
touches.
anyway.
There's a reason why she's in the anchor spot. That was a beautiful clear hit into her overshoot, down to the low bar. Excellent bar worker. Watch as she keeps her hips open on this dismount, double layout.
Oh, that's so good. And she even said it. Maybe saw her face.
Yes.
She said, oh, yes. Great moment. And Arizona's right in this. They're putting the pressure on Stanford. Remember, the top score from the day session, they'll put it on the board tonight, and the top 4 teams in the conference will take their run at it. All 4 teams tonight ranked in the nation's top 17. Catching up on Arizona State. Lee 9.775, Clark 9.8, Greg Wire 9.9, Smith 9.825. White had trouble, so the pressure's on Scharf. Scharf needs to come through for Arizona State to stay in this.
Yep, needs to put the balance beam behind her. And she's great on this event if she just allows her skills to do what she does best. This is going to be a great routine. Punch front through to double tack. Combination pass coming up, front handspring, the front fold to a tuck front. Wonderful job. She's showing great control in her landings, just what the judges want to see. Double pike, nails that landing.
And Scharf raises the fork, exactly what they needed. That's why she's in that spot. They had to come through. They wanted to drop White's trouble. They did. So now the low score, the 9.775 leadoff. And again, it's going to be a good rotation for Arizona State. Right with Arizona and just behind Stanford. rotations down, and Stanford is your favorite in this session coming in, and they lead after 3. They close on floor. Moments ago, Hallie Craigwire, the best of the rotation for Arizona State on floor, puts up a 9.9. That ties a career best. Arizona State had a little trouble at the back end of it, but they got bailed out. Hannah Sharp went 9.875 in that anchor spot. Jay Santos joins us now. Jay, how about what Hannah Sharp has done, not only for this program, but back end there on the floor, she saves that rotation for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's big. Obviously, she started off a little rough today, but, you know, that just shows who Hannah is. She dug deep, and she comes back and she hits that event. So, I mean, that was huge for us, absolutely.
Jay, you spoke to me about having a top-heavy team with majority of your team are upperclassmen. How integral has it been this season to your team and its success having a veteran mindset for most of your athletes?
It's been great. I mean, obviously they've been around, they know it, they've been in big moments, they know how to handle things, they know how to prepare. So it makes things that little bit easier and a little more enjoyable. So it's been a great year. It's a good ride for them to go out. For some of them, a couple of them are returning, so we get that as well.
Jay, I think you guys are closing on vault here, and that means we get to see Anaya Smith, who's ranked 11th in the country on that event.
Yeah, no, she's huge, she's dynamic, right? Huge vault. She's having a great year this year with that, been very consistent. So yeah, we're really excited to finish on vault and see where this goes.
Appreciate it, man. I know you've gone 197.6, so you got that in you. Keep it going through regionals.
All right, thanks.
Jay Santos in his 8th season, and his teams are always in the top 25. What an amazing job that Jay and Jess Santos did when they came to Tempe and turned that program around and returned it to greatness. 2-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year. Here's your scores right now. Stanford with a 147.7. And then Arizona is second, just in front of Arizona State. But you never know what happens, right? So Stanford closes on the floor. That's the advantage to being the top seed in the session. Arizona going to close on beam, so they have the toughest job right now. And Arizona State could take a run past Arizona and at Stanford. Tabitha Yim and the Stanford Cardinal, the 5 seed, sitting on top. Got to close it out now on the floor. Cardinal with a 147.7. Stanford Cardinal in their slow burn continues. Their best 8 scores of the season came in their final 8 meets. Before they had even hit 197, they almost hit 198. That epic meet against Cal with the 197.975. So Stanford could be a really dangerous team, not only here at the Pac-12s, as we're seeing, but also as they continue on to regionals. Got to protect the lead as they close on floor. Stanford averages a 49.35 on floor. If they put that score up, they should hold on to the lead. But then they're going to have to sweat it out. And Janae told you at the top of the show, after the first session, it's a 3-hour break, and then the big 4 from the regular season come in, and I'll take a run at that number. So Stanford has to sit around and wait for it and watch people take shots at them. Arizona State on the vault, 310 start values. And Lilia Perler, the freshman from Holt, Montana, excuse me, Missouri. Well, I believe she had only been on vault at Oregon State and went 9.75. So this would only be her 2nd vault of the year. Late change here, top of the lineup for Jay Santos.
Unique vault. She's going to do a Yurchenko half on, tuck out.
Nice effort. Tough spot. Good for her.
Yes, a blind landing. You have to open up at a good time, and she did a great job.
Lacey Dagan right there with the congratulations. Lacey Dagan, another former Pac-12 gymnast. See, when you get to wear the horns for Arizona State, it's a good thing.
Yes.
Wear the horns. Allison Fierce, who's normally in the anchor spot, will be the leadoff for Arizona on beam. Been a breakout year for her on this event. She's gone 9-8 7 times, twice 9-9. Break character for just a second. Take a little walk.
I think that's the way to do it.
She has posted new career highs this season across the board. All 5 events counting all around.
Series to start. Back handspring layout, step out. Speaking with head coach John, he always explained Allison to be an athlete with high productivity, low maintenance, beautiful side aerial. She loves being in the all-around. She's also a criminology major with a 4.0 GPA. And this summer she'll be interning at a police station.
Well, she sounds like the coach's dream. High production, low maintenance.
All that's left is the dismount. This routine has been very elegant and clean. She's going to finish off with a round off 1.5. I've been loving her face
Oh, that is
expression.
awesome. She's had such a great day. Couple of 9-9s, a 9.825, and a big beam score coming. Janae, the guys in the truck wanted me to ask you, when you were a gymnast, how was your maintenance level?
I learned it after freshman year. Took a minute for it to click, but
Arizona State finishes on the vault. Perler got a 9.75. And here comes White. Emily White, little up and down day. Still chance to put a nice finishing touch on it right here.
she's known for her gorgeous form. You're going to see her Yurchenko full. Legs and toes squeezed together. She's ready for that landing. That's going to be a great score.
Just her third vault of the season. Comes through when they need it. Remember, it's not just to win this session. It's not just to finish on the podium at Pac-12s. Everyone is angling towards regionals, and it's all mathematical. So you've got to pile up points and hope it's enough. The last 2 years, all 8 Pac-12 teams have gone to the regionals. Dia Moody, 9.775. Kristen Lynn, second up for the Gym Dogs of UW. Lynn's got 9.8 or better 4 times. 9.825 at Iowa. It's the first ever dual meet between Washington and Iowa this year. So as women's gymnastics grows, new rivalries are born.
Her routine is jam-packed, clear hip into a Ginger, directly connected into an overshoot. She has great form throughout. Kind of finish it off with a half in, half out dismount. Just a little low on that landing, had to take that step to the side.
Kristen Lynn, freshman, we told you she's from Santa Clara, so it's a really good get for Jen and Cody Llewellyn, the head coaches at Washington. Kristen Lynn, a 6-time NorCal State champion, top 2 on all 4 events last year, makes the transition to the collegiate level. Claire Dean, 9.875, great opener on floor. Stanford needs 5 good scores to close out the session, win the session, post a high number. Amanda Zing, who started our meet back in the first rotation on vault. Bing's got 9.9 twice this year.
Huge fan of this Mario themed floor music. It's just so fun. Combination pass to start off. She's going to do a front lay to a 1.5. Beautifully done.
stays in.
Beautiful torchete to Popa. Blow a kiss.
Amanda Zing finishing off her Pac-12 career at the final Pac-12 championships. Caroline Harry went 9-8 after Fears' opening 9-8-5. Emily Muller. I don't know that we've seen Emily maybe just once live today. She's been in the beam lineup all year long and coming off a season best 9.925.
Emily has very calm and confident energy. I mentioned about this series that she's about to do is very difficult. She's going to do a side aerial to a back layout step out.
Cover.
Good cover. Just little tiny balance checks on the last couple skills. But Emily is a natural beam worker. Any milestone that Arizona has hit this year or the year she's been involved, Emily has been a part of those milestones. Last is the dismount, round off 1.5. Make sure to hold that finish position for the judges.
There's Taylor Spears coming in. Look what Stanford's done on the floor. I told you they needed 5 good scores. Claire Dean equaled a season best. Amanda Zing, a career best. Good start. And now they hand the baton to Brennan Ault.
What I love about Brenna's floor, her performance quality, she's extremely expressive.
A couple of 9.925s this year, her best.
Double pike to start off. Chest was a little low, but she got to that lunge position quickly.
Yes, she did. Situation where maybe the sting mat actually helped her.
Love a good Bond theme. Handspring to a Rudy. Seems she was a little over-rotated on that, had a teeny stumble, but she danced out of it. Front lay for her last pass. Beautiful job.
Yeah, well done. I've liked that floor all year long. Brenna's had at least a 9.8 on everything. She had a 9.9 earlier on bars. Successful day, and she finishes with a smile. Go back to the bars and Skylar Kilo-Wilhelm. Skylar's last 6 bars routines this year have all been at least 9.85 and a 9.975 against Arizona. Olivia Oppegaard just went 9.85 for the Gym Dogs.
Beautiful handstand blind to Piked Jaeger, directly connected into that overshoot. Just beautiful form. She's been consistent. Blind front giant to a double tuck. That was a great routine.
Well, her scores have been climbing throughout the day. She just had a 9.85 on vault. That was her day's best. Here's Anaya Smith, who, when we were talking with Jay Santos, I mentioned she is ranked 11th in the country, and she has won 6 times. She's got 9.85 9 times, a 9.95 in a tri-meet against both Oklahoma and Cal, the 1 and 2 teams in the country at the time. Suffice it to say, she's really good.
So good. You're going to see a great block off the table.
Senior from Laurel, Maryland. Dials it in, and the runway is clear.
Yurchenko 1.5. Watch as she wraps her arms to generate. So she just does a layout. She was supposed to do a 1.5, so they are going to have to count that score. We'll see what the judges do because they flash what vault that they're going to be competing, and it wasn't a layout, so.
Nope, made a 9.8. Once again, Teralyn Wynn. This is her best event. She had a 9.925 against Cal.
Lots of power from this gymnast. Huge double layout. You see her front foot slides a little bit, so the judges will take a little deduction for that. Just shows that she was over-rotated. Another big tumbling pass right here. 2.5 to front pike. Just so much power. Mic drop.
I always forget about that part. That's great. She's fun to watch.
So much fun.
Well, Stanford's going to have 4 good scores in on floor. They need 5 to win this first session. Skylar Killer-Willem goes 9.925, so she saved her best score for last. And here is Lily Tubbs. Tubbs has 9 straight bar scores of at least 9.8, including a 9.95 at Arizona State.
What's really impressive about Lily is that she didn't start this sport until the age of 9.
Wow, that's late.
So she's really only been doing this sport for about 10 years, and for her to compete at a D1 college level is so impressive. Great routine so far. Double layout dismount coming up. Had to take that step, but great routine.
It's remarkable because you walk into gyms and you see 4- and 5-year-olds doing big skills. And if a 7-year-old walks in, they say, well, you're starting pretty late. She started at 9. It's remarkable. Back to the vault. Hannah Scharf. Got it.
Beautiful Yurchenko full.
And again, they needed it. Anaya Smith had only gotten a 9.525.
So they'll be able to drop that.
So that's going to save that rotation for Arizona State and prop up the score. Floor now, Anna Roberts and Chloe Widner to finish it off for Stanford. Either one posts a score over 9.8. They should have enough. Teralyn Wynn just got a 9.85. And the music not ready to go. So Hallie Mozat, the former UCLA star on floor, knew exactly what to do. Rather than leave her gymnast just laying there waiting for the music to start, said, get up, come off, reset, do it all again.
Yeah, and there's no deduction. The routine hasn't started yet, so.
Hallie was a two-time All-American her day back at UCLA on the floor.
Anna has impeccable tumbling technique. She's going to start off with a front lay to a Rudy, which is a 1.5. It's absolutely stunning to watch. Double tuck. That was a great routine. That was a great routine. That's going to be a really good score.
Yeah, and she's really given them an emotional lift since she's come back in. She's obviously very popular with her teammates and coaches.
Yep.
For her to fight back and then find success. You can tell when she scores well, it's special for all of them. Washington finds itself in need of a score from Taylor Russin. Drop Lynn's score from earlier, then everything would be 9-7-7-5. And would get them over 49. The average of 49.2. And of course, everybody's working on a road score as well, which if you understand the rankings in gymnastics, it's all done mathematically, but road scores weigh heavily.
It's very clean form. Line to straddle Jaeger. Into her overshoot. Great so far. She's going to do a double layout. It's a new dismount for her.
There you go.
Nailed it.
Nice work, Taylor. Senior from Redwood City. Up in the Bay Area. Added a couple of events during the season this year, but she's always been on bars. Got a 9-9 against Utah, 9-8-7-5 in the UW quad. So a 9-9-5 by Anna Roberts should be enough to put Stanford over. That is great work. So they already had a season best and a career best early in the rotation, and Roberts just equaled her career best. And here's Chloe Widner.
Combination pass. Front lay to front full. Beautifully done. Great execution. Ramping up for her last pass. Finish off with a double pike. She needs to control her landing. She stays inbounds, flirted with that line a little bit.
Step on the line, can't step over the line. Well, I think Stanford took care of what they came to do. They were the top seed in this session. Had they had another couple weeks in the year, they might have jumped into the night session. They were getting that good that quickly. And remember that 197.975 against Cal was an eye-opener. And how better to finish it off while we do the math when a little ABBA in the background. Never gets old, does it? Somebody cue up Mamma Mia. Stanford wins session number 1. We'll come back, give you the numbers, and talk to their head coach, Tabitha Yim. You're watching the Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships on the Pac-12 Network. Remains of the day, visible out in Zion. Stanford came in as the top seed in session number 1, and they just backed it up. A 197-175 for Stanford. That is their best score at the Pac-12s since March of 2008. We're joined now by the head coach, Tabitha Yim, now in her 7th season back on the farm. Did you know that? Had you seen the scoreboard? Did you know that you made a little bit of history right there?
No, I didn't. But what a historic night here for the Pac-12. So, yeah, just excited to be able to close out the night that way.
I don't know if you saw this, Tabitha, but as I'm looking at the scoreboard, you guys started on vault, so you were in the Olympic order. Your scores got progressively better each rotation, and you finished with a 49.475 on floor.
It's actually funny. Portia pointed that out to me before floor. She's like, hey, look, it's going 1, 2, 3. We're going to go 4 on floor.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tabitha, when you guys had a rocky start to this season, but how good does it feel to have your long-term vision come to fruition, peaking at that right time?
Yeah, this has been a real team effort all season. I can't say enough about our staff, about every single athlete on our team who has been able to step up and kind of get us through that beginning part of the season. They've grown, they've been resilient and so gritty. And so coming into this meet, we just talked about control the things that you can control. Let's have each other's backs, fight for every 10th, and have some fun out there. And I feel like they were able to achieve all those things.
Tabitha, I could go up and down the roster and talk about who was great, but nobody was better today, and maybe all season long, than Chloe Widner. So these are her scores today in order. 9.8 on vault, 9.85 on bars, a 9.95 on beam. That was the highest of the meet so far. A 9.9 on floor. She goes 39.5. What has she meant to your program?
She's been such an incredible leader, and just to see her growth from her freshman year, now being a 5th-year senior, I mean, that's why we do what we do. So proud of her, very proud of the way that she's leading the team. And hopefully we're not done yet. So we got to keep going, and we're excited again. She had a fantastic night, but truly it has been a team effort from the start of the season, and it will be that way all the way until the very end.
And Tabitha, before I let you go, I know that Ko is watching at home, your boy, ready to make the trip. So you got 5 seconds to say hi to your boy.
Hi, Koa. Last time I was pregnant, so yeah.
Yeah, he is adorable. What a great kid. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, we just talked about Chloe Widner. She is our Sprouts Farmers Market gymnast of the meet. And I mentioned that beam, that 9.95. That was the highest of the meet so far. But she was impressive all the way across the board.
So impressive. And I just keep talking about how seasoned she is. And she just maxes out every routine. And like you said, she just got better every time. And that 9.95 was amazing.
So Stanford wins it with a 197-175. That is the number that everyone else will look to beat tonight. We are back at 5 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Mountain, California, Utah, UCLA, and Oregon State all in the top 17 as we play one more time for the Pac-12 championship. For Janae Honest, I'm Jim Watson, our entire Pac-12 crew. We'll see you back here in 3 hours.